This image was taken 3 years ago during the course of what began as a mundane Saturday, but which now seems to be placed in the sensory lobe of my mind, which houses a quasi-dreamlike and fantastical vision cast upon my retinal rods. The photo is of my best friend Julie, walking peacefully into the river water on a sunny afternoon. We decided to make the trip on a whim. It's interesting that all I remember from this day are the images caught on the camera, the moments stilled and nothing more. I, as the photographer, want this moment to be representative of many things, of youth, of the hopes that youth held, of the illusory moment it seems to capture. Bart would say that I, as the operator, am composing the referent. Is then a form of unconscious desire projected onto the photo? Did I construct what I want the viewer to see? Perhaps. Though the moment is candid, I constructed the image, as well as what the image represents, creating a contrived artifice of sorts. Therefore, the image seems to lose its candidness, as natural life does not take place in stilled frames, but in fluid, often uninterrupted moments strung together by motion. However, the beauty, the punctum is, for me, that the subject is unknowing and unaware that her photo is being taken, even if I am projecting my consciousness onto it. Her facelessness opens the door to her essence. This moment in particular, as my friend walks into the light, represents a fountain of my own youth, which is since past, and through this metaphorical death, its moment gains glory. This photo represents a relic of that time, an ode to the whimsical days of fancy and fun, even if in reality we both seem shrouded by a nebulous but very weighty quarter-life crisis. Bart says, "The photograph does not call up the past. The effect it produces on me is not to restore what has been abolished, but to attest that what I see has indeed existed." This photo, then, captures much more than this ephemeral and ethereal moment. This is a representation of a narrative, of thoughts and emotion. It is a memory and it is essence in material form, a materialization that for me is much stronger than the mental memory. For me, the photograph has an uncanny ability to construct reality. I remember abstractions from this day, but not concretes. When I see the photo now, sadness is conjured up, as if a piece of our childhood was left behind in that river. To gain the voice of the other, however, I asked my friend, the referent in this photo, what she thought of the image and the day in which it offers only a small portal. About the image specifically, she says, "I hate walking barefoot in the water. As a kid, we always had to wear shoes in the bay. Otherwise, something would cut you or bite you. This never happened, but now I'm afraid of walking barefoot in the water. I remember hating the shirt I was wearing. I still have that shirt and I never wear it. You wore a bright but light green and yellow vintage dress. I loved it. I remember that the paint was chipping from your pedicure. I think I remember this because it would always drive me nuts that you didn't care about those things. I wonder why I do." Such description fails me as I look into the photo, which seems to echo Bart's notion of the dialectic being created. Photography, in order to surprise, he says, photographs the notable. But soon, by a familiar reversal, it decrees notable whatever it photographs. Bart says at one point that an almost truth is worse than a lie. Maybe that's what makes this photo so sad for me. My inability to go back into time and grasp each detail. The Snicker bar and cheese quesadilla we ate upon heading to the river. The stories we exchanged as we sat there laughing. The smell of the air on that beautiful day. Photos suggest a certain piece of sadness, the pang of loss of a bit of my youth, and with it, the ability to run away and play in a riverbed.